Hey, yo, everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Justice League Dark, issue number 5. Take a look at this column cover right here. Now, this is the big climactic ending to the first story arc for the Justice League Dark, and it's a big fight with the Enchantress, seeing if they can get that little pesky little magic user under control. Now, let's do a quick recap for those of you that haven't been following Justice League Dark. The basic concept for the first story arc is that the Enchantress, a very powerful magic user in the DCU, has kind of gone a little loopy. Her power is out of control, and she's kind of deteriorating her body, and she's even separated herself, an aspect of herself called June Moon. Anyways, all this magical disturbances caused by the Enchantress, well, it is just too much for the normal DC Universe heroes. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, they can't deal with this kind of magical attacks. So, Madame Xanadu, using her ability to have foresight and to predict the future, bands together a group of magic users, or, how should I say, supernatural superheroes, to fight the Enchantress, and they do so. Which leads us to this issue, the climax. And the issue is basically the teams are broken up into two. You have Madame Xanadu working with Shade the Changeman and with Zatanna, while Deadman and Constantine are dealing with stuff that's going on with June Moon. It comes down to the fact that Shade the Changeman, Madame Xanadu, and Zatanna are going to confront the Enchantress right up, front her, take her on, while Constantine finds out about a secret about June Moon, a loophole of how they could actually defeat the Enchantress without actually getting too close to her. However, Deadman doesn't like this loophole, seeing that it could actually cause a lot of harm to the Enchantress. Not the Enchantress, to June Moon. It could cause harm to the Enchantress, but anyways, the question is this. Will Zatanna, Madame Xanadu, and Shade the Changeman be able to get close enough to Enchantress to stop her? Or will Constantine have to pull the trigger and do something that, well, is a little shady and dark and could cost someone their life? Well, you're just going to have to read and see. Let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Warning! I'm going to have this be a kind of spoiler heavy for good, bad, and whether or not you should get it. So you can just skip ahead if you don't want to hear spoilers and get to the final verdict. Good. Well, it's actually nice to see this team working together like a team. Nah? Um, I do like the fact that this team is working together. I do like the fact that we're actually seeing something going down with them other than them working alone and doing their own thing. They actually feel like a team. Granted, they don't stay that way, but it actually feels like they're working as a team. We also get some surprise members jump in, too. Uh, I also like the moral dilemma that comes up with Constantine, with him and June Moon, and he basically can kill her and stop the Enchantress, and he's kind of I don't want to say Machiavellian, but maybe it's probably the best term I can come up with. But I guess the needs outweigh the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. If he has to kill this girl to save to stop the Enchantress, he's willing to. Which brings a dilemma if he actually does it. If he doesn't, it still brings a dilemma. The chemistry on the characters, for the most part, work well, and I like the ending because it kind of shows that this comic stands apart from the other ones. And I also like the resolve that they have with the Enchantress, whatever it may be. Bad. It is where the spoilers could be. Something happens in June Moon here that I don't like, and I actually was growing attached to the character. I thought she would be a nice character to be a supporting character for Deadman. Eh, what do I know? I don't like what happens with her. And also, Zatanna kisses Shade the Changeman to snap him out of some kind of transfixed, hallucinogenic, magical thingamajiggy. It just felt really out of character for Zatanna. I know she can be a little risque, but she's not going to go around and randomly kiss people. I understand why they did it. Don't get me wrong. Technically, it makes sense. But technically, I don't care. It's just something I didn't care to see, something that just didn't feel right. And it's Zatanna. I don't want to see her going around randomly kissing people. She would just use her magic to shut them up. On a whole, whether or not you should get it. This was an okay issue. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 stars. not quite as good quality as we've been having with the previous issues. It has a lot of good here, but it has about the same amount of bad. Another thing that I didn't like is it was very wordy. There was a lot of dialogue in this, and it got a little overwhelming. So it was a pretty decent finish to a first story arc, which the first story arc was pretty good. It's just the issue on the whole was mediocre. So I look forward to see what happens in this series later on, which issue number 6. But like I said, on a whole, 3 out of 5 stars. It was okay. So this is Andrew saying peace out for now.